We're here with Mia. She is a teacher and instructor of Argentine Tango here at Art Tango in Boston. This segment is about taking the time. How difficult it is these days to take time. Take time to listen, take time to begin the dance, takes time to practice a movement until we own it, until we feel it, that is coming from a real place. Unfortunately, we're moving on the moment that everything has to be fast. We run out of time, consistent. So taking the time to be in the moment. So I wanted to ask Mia that you teach here in Boston, very, very smart people, very intelligent people, very successful people who they already took the time to be where they are in life, and now they decided to dance tango. And I see it because I also teaching at the same place, and I see how difficult it is sometimes to ask to these people to process, to be a beginner again. And what are your experience? The most recently, if you have any experience they want to share, because maybe the other side, it is someone listening and realize it, that is the idea of this segment. It's like to help people to understand that a lot of the things that they are going through or they experience are also happen to others.
Yeah. I think there's two main things that I've noticed. One of them goes back to something else you've been touching on in one of your chapters, which may or may not be this one, which was the subject of when you have a wall and trying to kind of hit against a wall. And what you were saying is that there's a lot of people that come here that have very successful careers in other things and are very accomplished. And I think what happens when people do tango is that it doesn't matter in some ways, how smart you are. It doesn't even matter maybe if you can run really fast or you're really successful in other things, if you have a lot of money. It doesn't matter. Tango has its own timing. And it doesn't matter if you can understand what your teacher is trying to say in your head. Your body is going to take its own time.
Has to assimilate that.
Yes, and we can't control that. And I think that is the thing that is so compelling about tango, that makes us all kind of want it, is that there's this thing that we want to feel, that we know we can feel, but we can't control it. Unlike so many other things in our lives, which we kind of feel that we can, if I work this many hours. We think.
Because I think it's very related that a lot of things in life we think we are controlling it. And
yes.
And I can see it more and more, the relationship between what happened in my tango and is what happened in my life.
Yes.
And I face very similar situations.
That's true. I think tango is a
in life
mirror.
You can fake it. A lot of times.
I do.
And in tango you can't.
No, I think that's true. I think that in other activities it's easier to, when you have something that's difficult, or you can kind of skirt around it, and tango kind of holds up this mirror to you that, whether you want to see it or not, it's there, and you kind of have to confront that or you get stuck. And even sometimes when you are confronting that, you still get stuck, because it's not enough just to see the issue. You have to take time with the issue. Like for me, I know that I'm too much of a perfectionist, so I want to get everything right. And so sometimes I get really worried about that when I'm dancing, instead of letting go. And I'd love to do that, but just knowing that I want to let go isn't enough to fix it. I have to give myself time. It's an emotional thing that I have to take time with myself
to allow it to happen.
Yes. So that's one thing. I think the other thing that I see a lot of is people have an idea of what the dance is. And when they come to a lesson, they want to learn that. So for example, sometimes saying, we have to spend this whole hour just on shifting weight, which honestly, if you really think about it, 1 hour on shifting weight is nothing.
It's nothing.
You know, but people think, well, that's not tango. Like I just want to shift weight and get on. Like I want to do this step that looks really cool, or that's going to impress my partner, and that's not what it is, you know. And so sometimes I think as a teacher, one, you can see that maybe people are focusing on something that, in, I guess it would just be my opinion, isn't necessarily like the real stuff. But also I think it can happen to all of us that we get really fixated on this idea of how we want to appear, what we think is going to make us look better, feel better. And sometimes it takes trusting the people around you to say, no, you know, I know this, maybe it seems like a small thing, or it's not as exciting or flashy, but this is the essence of the thing. And I think sometimes as a teacher, you have to gain people's trust, that they understand, like, I'm not trying to make you work slowly. I'm not trying to just piss you off. I'm really doing this because this will help you. It's what you need.
But and then also we face into the other extreme, people who are taking so much time because they are facing this obstacle in front of them and thinking, taking the time doing that is the best way. So timing is something very, very special in the dance. We're talking about taking the time to incorporate something until we feel it, right? And not taking extra time because we are not getting into the place that's is facing it. So it's the timing.
Well, I think that's another really interesting thing, is that tango is so much about your personality. And so some people come in and their personality is to say, oh, this is difficult, I want to get it, got to get it right now. And for them, the challenge is to slow down. And other people, when they're confronted with something that's difficult, they just always want to avoid it. So for them, it's like you have to speed up a little. So I think it really depends on the person, too.
This is what is fascinating, is that we had this opportunity to say that I'm really taking time too much, or that I really don't take time. So, and if I have to get a conclusion, that I might change it in a couple of years, but today, through the experience of being teaching and dancing and trying to be in the present moment as much as possible, when we know is the right time is when we feel it in our body, when we feel it, that our body on it, and is my emotion, my head and my body all synchronized in that moment. I think, okay, this is the time, the right time for me. But that is a big conclusion to arrive to that point, right?
Yes. I also think sometimes we get to a place, though, when we're studying, and that we don't always trust when our body is telling you, oh, this was right.
It's speaking to us. It's talking to us, yes.
But or we might think it was right, and then we're told, like, actually, you're not pivoting or something, you know. So I think there can be this confusion about being able to trust what feels good and what doesn't feel good, because there is a certain amount of learning that is also taking your body kind of against its natural habits. So I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying that just adds a whole nother layer of complexity.
I know that is
in my learning as well. But I think you're right. It's such a complex.
I think the mind is a very difficult thing in this learning process, and I still very convinced that the body, our body, is very smart and sometimes goes far away from our mind, and so be connecting to our body is going to be the right way to know if we're taking enough time.
Yes, listening to your body and trying to filter out your mind.
I like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.